Before I continue discussing the markets, please take this moment now with helping me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click subscribe. Click this bell. Click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Next, click the thumbs up button every time you watch my videos. Okay, let's continue with the view of the markets. It's 4:16 p.m. New York time. The equity markets are closed. The Federal Reserve met today and they decided with the Fed funds rate to leave it alone, so not raising or lowering the interest rates. Let's start off looking at the yields. When the yields go higher, that typically means interest rates are going higher. We'll first look at the 30-year yield. Look, huge move down. We're looking at the weekly time frame. Each candle's a week. It's Wednesday, happy hump day. The week is not done yet, but it broke down below this consolidation. It's going down. So signaling that there's likelihood of no interest rates to be raised anytime soon. The 10-year, same as looking like the 30-year. And the 5-year, trending down lower. So what goes inverse of yields? Treasuries. We're looking here at the 30-year Treasury. Huge move up. Broke out as consolidation. Hit this mid-range of the weekly. That's a significant technical charting, significant meaning. If you want to know more about that, you could join my Patreon and I'll show you what I do with that. Looking at the 10-year Treasury, which is also called the notes. 10 years the note, 30 years the bond. Trending higher, momentum's to the upside. Interesting, that big move down there went to what was a demand zone, broke below it, closed below it. And now for the 3 weeks into the after, we're trending higher, big reverse. The 5-year Treasuries as well, really tight consolidation. Going back up to this prior supply zone where sellers were before. So we zoom into each of these. Keep your eye on the 5-year. See what happens if it comes back to this price level, and that's a potential trade idea. Also, when you have yields go lower, one would expect, and it does happen often, the US dollar has a reaction. Lower interest rates lowers the US dollar. Let's look at the US dollar on the weekly chart. It's in a consolidation. Look at that, it's constantly been trending lower for the past 12 months. It's in a consolidation, building a tight coil. So the likelihood is that it's going to continue going lower. And it's just shy of that demand zone. Trade opportunity in currencies and many other financial instruments. You can look at my playlist on this YouTube channel. I have a playlist that shows you the currencies. I mentioned which ones are the strongest ones and which ones I'm holding, buying, long, or which ones I'm shorting. What has a big effect on financials? Interest rates, banks. So let's go look at the banks. Again, each chart is a week. American Express. For the current week, huge sell-off. Yep, it also had earnings. But as the whole market went down, look at this huge sell-off right down into that consolidation area, which was also a prior demand zone. Buyers are here. You notice it has that little tail there. So this candle's not done for the week, but one should be using caution before they put any trades on this, to wait for the weekly candle and to give you a better idea if we're going to go lower. We have not filled that gap yet, so the momentum is to the downside. Did you know you can make money trading downside? Absolutely. Bravo, Alpha, Charlie. The momentum's down. Yep, just those few weeks ago, we filled this gap. And since then, it failed to close in that gap and it rolled over. Lots of problems. Charlie. Yep, didn't even take out that gap. Huge bearish pin bar and it's trending lower. Momentum's down. Goff, Sierra. Inside candle, broke below it, the momentum's down, it's bearish. Juliet Papa Mike, yep, filled this gap from last year and took out that swing high from last year and now trending lower. Excuse me. Mike Echo Tango, trending lower, down. Look at that, fill that gap. And the momentum didn't even go up to take out that swing high. That yellow horizontal line is the high of last year. It couldn't even take it out. The trend is going down. Let's look at some other financials. Mike Sierra, Morgan Stanley. Wow, huge sell-off near the bottom of this consolidation, which is a demand zone, but use caution before stepping in buying here. What was some of the strongest financials last year already turned around and going down. Uniform Sierra Bravo, momentum's to the downside prior weeks. Yep. Whiskey Foxtrot Golf broke out of this tight consolidation, and that big round numbers touching 30, which was a demand zone. And Wells Fargo just lost my business because this past Friday, I refinanced my mortgage, no longer with Wells Fargo, but with a new mortgage company. So my refinance, I got a 2.5% interest rate. My prior was 3.25, so I'm lower now. Now I have lower payments. Good money management. And I was shorting Wells Fargo last year, making income monthly from trading bearish sometimes on this. Maybe I'll look to do it again. Next, Bravo Kilo. Wow, looking bad. Momentum's down, huge move down, 2 weeks in a row. Sierra Tango Tango as well, the financials right in there, consolidation. Wow. Papa Yankee, Papa Lima, huge bearish engulfing candle. It's not done yet, but come the end of the week, I like to see how that's going to form. That may be a trade idea. Bearish engulfing pin bar might be an idea to go short if that really occurs. And let's look at the financials, the equity indexes, to get an idea of how they're doing on the weekly time frame. Wow, that's a bearish engulfing, and that's a wedge. And a wedge was building a coil tighter, tighter, tighter. I was telling you, when it gets tight, it has a breakout, it's going to be bad. So looks like it's going to really pull back even steeper. But again, wait till this candle gets done on a weekly time frame. But that's what I'm seeing, a lot of underlinings. November Delta X-ray, NASDAQ 100. Made a new high for the week, and look at that, already back inside the prior candle. Dow Jones Industrial Average did not make a new high, sold off high, hard, inside consolidation. Looks like it's definitely want to go lower too. Russell 2000 made a new high for the week and already sold off. Dow Transports, huge sell-off. Wow, near the bottom of this consolidation, not good. And those 2 weeks, those little candles, those are distributions. Smart money, institution money, people that manage other people's money were selling there, unloading positions, getting out of it, while other people were buying it. Yep, and it went off lower. Dow Utilities, really struggling. Yep. So if we zoom in here for the week, look at the current candle, big disconnect. Well, the S&P 500 made a new high for this week. The NASDAQ 100, not the Dow. The Russell 2000 did. Not the Dow Transports, not the Dow Utilities. So hear this. The S&P 500 index comprised of other indexes. The NASDAQ 100, the Dow Jones, the Dow Transports, the Dow Utility indexes, and the S&P 500 are inside the S&P 500 index, where the Russell 2000 is its own index. The Dow Jones is heavily weighted with banks. The Russell 2000 has a lot of smaller banks. The Dow Utility is heavily affected by interest rates. If interest rates go higher, people don't want to be in utilities because they're in utilities usually for dividends. So if they think they earn better fixed income from interest rates, but we know the Fed said they're not raising interest rates, and this sold off. Well, if this sold off and people not necessarily going bonds, things could be looking worse, possibly. Take that in consideration for your long-term investments. And we'll end here. Just looking at the last few minutes of what the market did. This is the 15-minute futures. Since the equity markets are closed, the futures markets does some trading. These are 15-minute charts. You can see what's happening in the extended hours. I see sell-offs. Yep, sell-offs. And we'll throw one more up here. What happened with GameStop? Extended hours. If you like this market information I've shared and want to learn more with greater detail, step-by-step training, I have a Patreon page. I share trade ideas for earning monthly income. Below in the description box, click Show More. Scroll down. This link here, click on it. Take you here to my Patreon page. Select the membership and join. Then you have access to unlock my posts.